Good evening and welcome to the National Honor Society's induction ceremony. Would everyone else please stand up for the presentation of the colors by Brockton High School JROTC. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms. Ready, base. Half step, arch.
Thank you all. You may be seated. Welcome, everyone, parents, inspirational teachers, and most importantly, the new inductees. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Miss O'Connell. I am the advisor of the National Honor Society, and we are honored to have you all here tonight to celebrate these students and their wonderful successes. Thank you to everyone that has played a part in planning tonight. Definitely could not have done it alone. We are delighted to have our Superintendent Smith here tonight, and I would invite her up to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Ms. O'Connell. This is always a wonderful occasion for the Brockton Public Schools, and I would venture for the city of Brockton. Because you see in front of you, and when I look at the numbers around the country in 50 states, 1 million inductees, that's not really very many. These are students that have truly distinguished themselves. They've distinguished themselves with hard work, in the classroom, with their citizenship, their character, their leadership, all that is wonderful for our nation and the world for the future generation that will take over in a very few years. When I look at the teachers up on this stage, or counselors, or whoever you have selected as your inspirational teacher over your many years in schooling, it is always very rewarding, having been a teacher myself in Brockton, and knowing what these teachers do each and every day. They believe in you. They develop relationships with you so that they can make sure that you are successful in a content area, in a situation that you're dealing with. You know, you have looked up to them, and tonight you are certainly showing and honoring them by selecting them as your inspirational teachers, and I congratulate each and every one of you. Thank you for everything you do for our students. When I also look over to this side, you know, I look at your administration here at Brockton High that have watched you when you entered as 9th graders, many coming up through the system. They've made sure that you have had all of these opportunities. They have fought hard to make sure that you have electives, that you have coursework, that you have opportunities for clubs, for sports, for the arts, for so many things, so that you can, again, develop into the wonderful young people that you are before you. I also have a few school committee members here, and I want to acknowledge them also for the hard work and the dedication they have given to the Brockton community to make sure that the Brockton Public Schools is an excellent school system and offers every student, no matter where they come from, an opportunity to be successful. To the parents out there, I see you coming in tonight with big smiles, with bouquets, with you are so proud, I know you are. And I always tell this little bit of a story that my mom is 83 years old, and she still has in her jewelry box a little National Honor Society pin that she earned at Brockton High School, obviously many, many years ago as a student in high school. She talked about it when I was growing up. She saved it to make sure that any one of her grandchildren who were able to achieve such a high honor would understand how important that is in her life all of these years later. It is an important achievement. Last night I had the opportunity to go to Boston College, and I was invited by a student that sat in that very seat a couple of years ago at Brockton High School. She's a young woman going into education, and I was amazed when I went in there to speak to her class, and I spoke to them again about equity for all our students. But I was so proud as your superintendent, and every one of you makes me proud every single day when we see the colleges you're getting accepted to, whether you're going into military service or a wonderful career. The future is yours. We are so proud of you. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Smith. We're now going to begin the inspirational teacher recognition part of the evening. When applying to the National Honor Society, each student picked a teacher that helped them get to where they are today. Those teachers will be recognized tonight as well.
Each teacher will be presented with a certificate that reads Certificate of Special Recognition, and is signed by the National Honor Society advisor, Ms. O'Connell, and the principal, Dr. Murray. We ask that the inspirational teachers stand and receive their recognition when their names are read. Audience, please hold your applause until all names have been read. Our principal, Dr. Murray, will come up and read a few sentences written about each teacher by the student that nominated them.
Congratulations, everyone. Thank you for being here. So it's my honor to introduce some of these amazing educators, some that I've worked with and gotten to know, some that I don't, but nevertheless, all very special individuals. So we'll start with Michelle Duquette. Mrs. Duquette is my inspirational teacher because she helped me develop my ideas of leadership and scholarship. Her guidance and mentoring led me to become who I am today. Congratulations. Candace McGann. Miss McGann is a teacher who you will never forget. She prepares her students for the real world and teaches them lessons for everyday life. She always pushes her students to be the best version of themselves. Matthew Campbell. Mr. Campbell has had a great impact on the lives of many. He inspires his students to be the best versions of themselves. If he is not teaching, he is coaching, and if he is not coaching, he is at some performance or sporting event supporting his students. He never stops enforcing the importance of a quality education and never stops motivating his students to exploit their true potential. Nancy Antonellis. Mrs. Antonellis not only helps her students improve academically, but she also helps them improve upon themselves as people. She provides her students with leadership opportunities by allowing them to be teacher assistants in her classes. She genuinely cares about all of her students and is willing to sacrifice her own time to help them. Mrs. Aris. Mrs. Aris greatly impacts her students' lives through her strict yet caring manners of teaching. Mrs. Aris always pushed her students to try their hardest and turn in their best work. Her students remember her attentiveness and persistence of receiving a piece her student was proud of. Jennifer Arsenal. Mrs. Arsenal is an exceptional history teacher and coach. She is always willing to offer encouragement and never hesitates to go the extra mile. Benadia Suncow. Mrs. Suncow is a phenomenal Spanish teacher at Brockton High School. She inspires her students to follow their dreams and become great leaders. Miss Lauren Brown is a computer applications teacher at Brockton High School. She has continually motivated me to do my best, and I know I can always count on her. Yu Chen. Mrs. Chen is a role model to all her students. She believes in students even if they don't believe in themselves. Mrs. Chen is a dedicated teacher who always gives her students 110%. She makes sure her students understand any material they struggle with and will even spend hours after school with them to make sure they're all set. Ms. Chen is truly an inspiration to her students and deserves to be praised. Lieutenant Colonel Richard Clark. Lieutenant Colonel Clark is someone you can go to with any type of problem. Colonel Clark is caring and hilarious. He has had a lasting impact on many of the JROTC cadets. He gives very good life lessons and helps you prepare for the real world. Ian Conley. Mr. Conley is a freshman world history teacher and AP world history teacher. He educates students while also making class enjoyable and ensuring that the topic is being understood by his students. His quizzes may be challenging, but it helps the students prepare for important exams in the future, such as the AP exam, and he has faith that all of his students will succeed, which makes him a great teacher. Emmanuel DeBarros. Mr. DeBarros is a great role model and mentor. He helps his students with whatever they need and encourages them to apply to programs that will help them succeed. Alexandra Diorio. Mr. Diorio is someone you can count on. He is kind-hearted, caring, and passionate about helping kids strive to be their best. Todd Erickson. Mr. Erickson, in the limited amount of time Mia has had Mr. Erickson as a teacher, he has taken a memorable role. Mia admires his patience and dedication to his students. Julie Fairfield. Mrs. Fairfield always tries to bring the best out of her students and actively encourages them to seek a higher education past high school. Whenever possible, she will try to assist her students and fellow faculty members out of the kindness of her enormous heart. She goes out of her way to make each lesson interesting and is willing to spend countless hours of her own time to help her students. Her hard work and generosity inspires her students so they can do the best they can. Hillary Filkins. Mrs. Filkins has done so much to benefit her students in preparing for college and life ahead. She has helped. She makes her students better people in all aspects of life by seeing their potential. She helps her students gain confidence and be the best students they can be. Christina Gallant. Senora Gallant teaches her students to be the best versions of themselves and to never give up no matter how hard life gets. She encourages her students to find what they are passionate about and then to pursue those interests. David Grine. Mr. Grine is a superb science teacher, expects nothing but the best from his students, and has inspired many to work up to their full potential. Kevin Howie. Mr. Howie has been one of the only teachers who has helped me not only with schoolwork, but with myself mentally. He reminds me to always consider myself in school and in life. He tells me I need to do what makes me happy and not just what everyone else wants me to do. Robert Howard. Mr. Howard makes a lasting impression on his students. His lessons carry them through life, and he is a positive influence. Gene. The word inspiration describes Mr. Gene, and Mr. Gene knows how to use it for his advantage, for he illuminates with his words every student's mind, making them smile. Elizabeth Keene. Mrs. Keene is a phenomenal English teacher at South Middle School and plays a major role in helping her students become the students they are today. She influences her students to become exceptional leaders and successful students. Melissa Kelly. Miss Kelly is an encouraging teacher that pays attention to the needs of each of her students. She never expects her students to get it perfect the first time, but always pushes them to do their best. She is very easy to talk to and learn from. Renee Leahy. Miss Leahy has been an amazing mentor to me throughout the years, teaching me how to be a better student and classmate. Because of Mrs. Leahy and her class, I have decided to go into medicine and to become a pediatrician. Ren Lee. Miss Lee encourages her students to challenge themselves both in and out of school. She is hardworking and passionate about the success of her students. Jocelyn Liberty. Miss Liberty was the one to help me gain confidence within and to never fear using my voice in class. She goes above and beyond for her students and is willing to take time out of her schedule to help. Her devotion to stay after with me for hours each day proves truly that she is a dedicated teacher at heart. Vincent Macrina. Mr. Macrina is an inspirational teacher because he is viewed as a role model. He has a passion for music and enjoys sharing his love for it with others. He expresses words of wisdom that always seem to enlighten my day and encourages me to find my own passion. James McSherry. Mr. McSherry teaches his students to be themselves no matter what. He teaches his students how to be determined and have confidence in themselves, and he inspires them to keep trying until they succeed. Michael Miller. Mr. Miller is known to change and improve his students' academic life. He is an AP teacher who shows his students how to thrive at a college level. He is a great role model and inspiration. Carol Mullen. Mrs. Mullen is a vibrant teacher who stands out even in the dullest crowds. She is an exuberant teacher who continues to inspire students to reach their fullest potential. Julie Nadell. Mrs. Nadell, formerly Miss Belcher, is a freshman English teacher. Mrs. Nadell has inspired her students to always work hard and to push themselves to be the best student and person they can be. Mrs. Nadell's encouraging words and fun attitude towards teaching and learning make her an excellent teacher and mentor for not only English class, but life as well. Bruno Nasiglia. Mr. Nasiglia is one of many teachers I admire. He always gave my classmates and I a broader perspective about life that we probably wouldn't have known if it weren't for him. This is why I admire Mr. Nasiglia. Meredith Nussbaum. Miss Nussbaum was a teacher who took the time to focus on the individual. Her hands-on learning approach and personable nature allow her to excel at her job. Not only did Miss Nussbaum help her students succeed, but she helped them grow as well. Nicole Otero. Miss Otero helps her students develop good study habits. She is always positive and makes learning fun for her students. She leads by example and is a role model for her students. Sarah Palmer. Through the years, Miss Palmer continues to inspire her students through her passion for theater and teaching, and has served as a positive mentor and role model. Rory Paxton. Mr. Paxton was a great teacher and made learning math very fun. He always engaged with students and gave us the best advice. Doreen Pinkham. Miss Pinkham was a very outspoken and genuinely honest teacher that her students looked up to. She has been a great influence in her students' life regarding the ideas of independence, following their true path, and being a leader to others. Michael Robinson. Mr. Robinson is a teacher that is super serious about science. What makes him an inspiration is that he wants every student to do well, not just in class, but in life. He was hard on me because he knew I could do better, be better, and he changed my attitude towards school. Thank you, Mr. Robinson, for leading me on the right path. Charles Russell. Mr. Russell is not only dedicated to his job as a teacher, but also as a track coach. Mr. Russell is very family-oriented and considers them in everything he does. He is encouraging and pushes you to the limits that you didn't think you had. Vanessa Salinas. Senora Salinas inspires her students to go above and beyond. She shows them how hard work and dedication can bring them far in life. Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith is a middle school English teacher. She is known to spark students' interest in literature. She turns her students into engaged readers by introducing them to a wide range of books with characters they can relate to. David Stavros. Mr. Stavros is an amazing teacher who has shown that he cares very much about his students. He goes above and beyond to help his students gain more knowledge he believed many lacked before coming to his class. No student can say that they have not gotten anything from him because of his constant organization, active teachings, and preparing students for future exams they might have feared before his class. Bernadette Sullivan. Miss Sullivan inspires her students to do better academically. She also encourages them to become more involved, which gives them confidence to become a leader. With Miss Sullivan's guidance and support, her students develop a stronger work ethic as well as improve their leadership skills. Melissa Thomas. Mrs. Thomas is a very supportive and reliable teacher. She is always there when any student needs her, not only in the classroom, but outside of it as well. Jeffrey Toledo. Mr. Toledo helps his students open up and engage in classroom discussions as well as independent learning. Mr. Toledo also uses humor as an outlet to connect with his students and makes everyone feel included. Michael Williams. Coach Mike has taught the value of hard work and integrity on and off the football field. His devotion to the youth, selflessness, and drive for success have truly made an impact on my life. I am forever grateful for the time that he has devoted to me. Maura Wolf. Mrs. Wolf always knows exactly how to explain things for her students to understand. She is funny and knows how to keep her class entertained. She forms a close relationship with each and every one of her students and always notices and tries to help if there's something going on. Michelle Zachary. Miss Zachary is a 5th grade teacher who helps her students grow as leaders. She teaches her students it's okay to make mistakes, and she helps them become more comfortable learners. Those are our 48 inspirational teachers. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Would the inductees please take their seat on stage now? We will now begin the candle lighting ceremony. At this time, we invite Dr. Murray to light the candle of knowledge. No. The oldest tradition in the National Honor Society's induction ceremony is the candle lighting service. The candle that was just lit by Dr. Murray, Brockton High School's principal, represents eternal light of knowledge. Traditionally, a teacher lights this candle to symbolize the transference of knowledge from teacher to student or adult to child. The officers will now light the remaining four candles, which represent the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. Anne Celestin will light the candle of leadership.
One pillar of the National Honor Society is leadership. Leadership is a privilege that is earned when one exhibits reliability and dedication. Leadership focuses the work from the other pillars and guides them in their endeavor to enhance our school and community. It also requires initiative in class and school activities, as well as the self-confidence to go forward when others hesitate. The value of leadership lies in its ability to pass on to others the benefits of scholarship and character, that is, to teach by example. A leader is not driven by personal fulfillment. Instead, a leader strives to direct his or her talents along with the talent of others for the betterment of society. Malu Andrade will light the candle of service.
The second pillar of the National Honor Society is service. In the National Honor Society, service can be described as helping our community and our school. The willingness to perform such work for the benefit of those in need is a quality that we seek in our membership. Community service is a humanitarian aspect of this organization that inspires members to do their part in creating a better today and an even better tomorrow. National Honor Society members are committed to the idea of volunteering because they have come to realize that the sheer act of sacrificing one's time to aid another benefits the giver as well as the recipient. Belinda Cesar will light the candle of scholarship.
The third pillar of National Honor Society is scholarship. Scholarship is the ultimate symbol of knowledge. As knowledge can be acquired through patience and true effort, scholarship in students represents their commitment to learning. Honor Society members have proven that they are willing to spend hours reading and studying because they know the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. Because scholarship is the key that unlocks the door to fulfilling, future candidates continually have the ability to expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship, which is why we uphold it as a pillar. Francesca Damari will light the candle of character.
The fourth pillar of the National Honor Society is character. Character is what distinguishes us from one another. Without character, one cannot respect oneself nor hope to gain respect of others. It is the one element in our lives over which we have complete control. Thus, it is the source from which our self-respect evolves. It is the product of constant action as one strives daily to make the right choices. Character is a permanent force that guides us through life and defines the extent of our honor. Success, status, and even joy are often temporary, but one's character will always prevail.
At Brockton High School, membership into the National Honor Society has included the awarding of a pin at the induction ceremony, a certificate of membership, the act of signing the register, and an honor stole that is worn at graduation. This certificate reads, Certificate of Membership, Honors Society. This certificate certifies that you, the newly elected members of the National Honor Society, were chosen as members of the Brocktonian chapter of the National Honor Society. Membership is based on scholarship, service, leadership, and character, given at Brockton High School this 14th day of November 2018. It has also been signed by the Executive Director of the NASSP, Timothy Dyer, our advisor, Catherine O'Connell, and the principal of Brockton High School, Dr. Murray. Each certificate is embossed with the golden NHS seal of eternal flame of knowledge and the initial 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. After the deans have been awarded their framed certificates, each new member will receive their pin from the assistant dean and then sign the National Honor Society register, administered by the Faculty Council. Beginning with the greenhouse, Alexandra Yunus will read the names of the inductees. Mr. Donovan and Ms. Ciola will award the NHS certificates and pins.
Will the members of the greenhouse please stand and come forward when your name is read? Kindly hold your applause until all the presentations have been made. Leslie Cabrera Luna. Leslie is a varsity field hockey player and part of the Foreign Language National Honor Society for Chinese. She is active in the St. Patrick Church community and enjoys her experiences in the neo-catechumenal way. Leslie hopes to go to college and study civil engineering. Lada Cardozo. Lada has been a member of the girls' varsity soccer team since her sophomore year. She has taken honors, IB, and AP classes all 4 years of high school. She plans to attend college in the fall. John Champagne. John is a member of several groups, including drama, choir, and talent search. He is an active participant in his community and goes out of his way to help those in need. He hopes on going to university to study broadcast journalism and writing. Arnakessa Shari. Arnakessa is an outgoing and well-rounded student that took part in various athletic activities such as cross-country, track, and cheerleading. She is also a member of the Foreign Language Honor Society and is part of a leadership program known as C5. Arnakessa is very passionate about dance and hopes to go to college and study abroad in France. Michael Deher. Michael has worked hard in his life to achieve this honor. He helps run the family business with his dad and hopes to go to college and study engineering. Jalea DeAndrade. Jalea plays soccer and lacrosse and loves to volunteer at elementary schools. She hopes to go to Boston University and major in bio or pre-med. Her goal in life is to become a pediatric surgeon or a physician assistant while traveling the world during her free time. Layla DePina. Layla DePina continues to strive to be a well-rounded individual. She is an active participant in 3 varsity sports: volleyball, basketball, and tennis, as well as the advanced concert band. She spends most of her time dedicated to her studies and extracurricular activities, and in the future, she wishes to discover her true potential. Patricia Diaz. Patricia enjoys watching anime and spending time with her friends. She hopes one day to create a major impact in her community that will allow her name to be recognized for generations. Haley Finn. Haley is a part of the after-school TV club. While there, she loves to write scripts and shoot short films. She wants to study film and movie production in the future. Brianna McDonald. Brianna is the captain of the softball team, and she is in the advanced concert band. After high school, she hopes to attend college for nursing. Sarah Moniz. Sarah's character is very important to her. She spends her time volunteering at her church's food pantry. Naomi Napier. Naomi is a student athlete whose main sport is softball. She is hardworking and is dedicated to getting the most out of her education. She hopes to go on to a 4-year college and eventually obtain both a bachelor's and master's degree. Mia Otero. Mia plays varsity soccer and runs winter track. She puts family and friends first and plans to go to an Ivy League college. Courtney Sacchetti. Courtney is part of the C5 leadership program, and she actively volunteers for her community. She is hardworking and wants to attend college to become a pediatric oncologist. Rebecca Tanis. Rebecca is part of the basketball and volleyball team and wants to continue playing after high school. Her plans are to go to the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Science to become a pharmacist. Congratulations, Greenhouse members. And now Mary Purdahl will read the names of the Red House as Mrs. Kopp and Mr. Garsha make the presentation of certificates and pins.
Will the members of the Red House please stand and come forward when your name is read? Kindly hold your applause until all the presentations have been made. Taryn Bennett. Taryn participates in softball and for the past 4 years has been a part of the C5 leadership program. She works as a lifeguard and swim instructor at the Y and also works at Primark. She hopes to go to college to study sports management. Deanna Desronville. Deanna Desronville is an extraordinary student that participates in many extracurricular activities in her community. She participates in sports every season, challenges herself to rigorous classes, and she hopes to travel to Spain and become a dentist in the future. Khadijah McLean. Khadijah is the vice president of her class and president of Feminist Club. She enjoys volunteering as a freshman mentor. She aspires to be a pediatrician and one day own her practice. Furthermore, she aspires to be a positive role model in her community. Stacy Polino Mendonca. Stacy is a member of the Bacher Community Outreach and president of the Social Essence Empowerment Club at Brockton High. She hopes to go to college and study communications. Michael Norman. Michael is the co-captain of the varsity football team. He's also a member of the Foreign Language Honor Society. Michael plans to attend college in the fall. Olivia Rattel. Olivia enjoys running and is a part of the cross-country team. On her free time, she is also a part of the dance team. She hopes to study criminology and Forsynic psychology in college. Jade Wint. Jade is a part of many programs at the school, including the girls' varsity basketball team and the Make a Change Club. She would like to receive a college education and uphold a career in nursing. Congratulations, Red House members. And now, Dara Barros will read the names of the Azure House as Ms. Alves and Mr. Desmond make the presentation of certificates and pins.
Will the members of the Azure House please stand up and come forward when your name is read? Kindly hold your applause until all presentations have been made. Ariana Brew. Ariana is part of concert choir, and she enjoys reading. She plans on going to college to study pre-medicine and become a doctor. Katarina Barrows. Katarina is the president of the Converting Club and a freshman mentor. She fluently speaks 3 different languages. Her post-high school goal is to attend college and medical school and become a neurosurgeon. Alan Bellevue. Alan is a captain on the track and field team and also a peer tutor. He enjoys listening to music and playing basketball in his free time. He wants to go to college and become a sports medicine physician. Samir Boushaba. Along with partaking in rigorous academic classes, both in and outside of school, Samir also participates in a pre-professional dance program and frequents the stage in local theatrical productions. Samir occasionally directs the choreographs junior shows and teaches dance and musical theater to young children. In the future, Samir hopes to obtain the undergrad degree of biochemistry in pre-medical track and one day obtain the title of medical doctor. Alexis Chambrello. Alexis is on the varsity soccer team and also participates in advanced and marching band. She plans on continuing on to a 4-year college to study nursing. Every Sunday, she volunteers her own time at a local nursing home. Kyla Dos Santos Lee. Kyla is part of the advanced and marching band. She plans on going to college and fulfilling her dream of being a nurse practitioner. Nyla Epps. Nyla enjoys volunteering and aiding to others. During her free time, she enjoys to babysit and spend time with her family. She hopes to go to college and study to be a forensic scientist or a marine biologist. Jada Froyo. Jada is captain of the varsity volleyball team, enjoys teaching younger kids the basics of volleyball. She hopes to go to college and pursue a degree in accounting. Giovanna Ibachi. Giovanna plays varsity field hockey, is member of Brockton Talent Search, and hopes to go to college to become a nurse practitioner. Jamie Kadazy. Jamie is part of the JRTC and has participated in the program for about 3 years. She loves working with kids and helping others. Jamie also inspires to go to medical school and become a cardiologist. Her hopes are to own her own practice. Marley LaRose. Marley is a proud member of the Pathfinder Club. She works with the cultural, environmental, social, and religious education of children and teens and enjoys volunteering at her church on the weekends. Marley sees herself going to college to pursue biology in hopes of becoming a cardiologist. Catherine Moley. Catherine is a 2-year varsity field hockey player and takes part in various sports during other seasons. She is part of the Foreign Language Honors Society for Chinese. Catherine hopes to go to an Ivy League college to study biochemistry. Adriana Montero. Adriana is a halftime dancer and a peer tutor for her fellow peers at Brockton High School. Adriana's top school is UMass Amherst. She plans to major in biology. Following college, Adriana has a goal to become a surgeon and plans to save many lives. Ansi Nijak. Ansi is part of the freshman pact. She enjoys devoting her time and helping others. She inspires to go to college and become a lawyer. Mirsha Peer. Mirsha is part of the girls' volleyball team and she enjoys learning new languages. She hopes to study human biology in college. Joey Palveri. Joey is a member of Drama Club and enjoys being a section leader in chorus. After graduation, he hopes to study journalism in college. Emily Vera. Emily is active in her school and community through several clubs and organizations, including Clee Club, the Bay Club, and Sikh Club. As well as school, Emily is passionate about dance as she has been a dancer for over 10 years. She plans to go to plans to go to school for medicine to become a neonatal surgeon. Emily Wersing. Emily is a hardworking student who enjoys helping others. She volunteers at her church and coaches soccer on the weekends. Emily hopes to go to college and study medicine. Megan Westerland. Megan plays soccer for Brockton High. She enjoys giving back to her elementary school by volunteering at the school events. Megan plans on going to college to study business. Congratulations as your house members. And now, Deborah Silva will read the names of the Yellow House student as Mr. Ahern and Mrs. Baker make presentation of certificate and pins. Thank you.
Will the members of the Yellow House please stand and come forward when your name is read? Kindly hold your applause until all the presentations have been made. Nancy Chack. Nancy is currently in our Brockton High School Marching Band, Advanced Concert Band, and Foreign Language Honor Society. Her inspirational teacher, Vincent Macrina, encouraged her to work hard towards her aspirations. She plans to go to college and study international business after high school. Rachel Cohen. Rachel is currently part of the drama club. After high school, she would like to attend college and major in nursing. Jenny Dang. Jenny is on the executive board of Boxer Community Outreach and Journalism Club. She enjoys volunteering in her spare time and actively seeks to better the lives of others. In the future, she hopes to go to college with a major in biomedical sciences. Elizabeth Eaton. Elizabeth challenges herself to work hard and stay focused while being committed to many different extracurriculars. She hopes to contribute great things to society in the future. Sergio Gonzalez. Sergio is a member of the cross-country team and the wrestling team. He wishes to continue his education at Bryant University and pursue a degree in economics. Brianna Joseph. Brianna is an athlete who plays field hockey and lacrosse, but also enjoys reading, drawing, and creative writing. She aspires to study neurology and other medical sciences. Kanine Joamel Mazanev. Kanine is an intelligent student who loves to do voluntary work. She wants to participate in working for mayor and the Brockton Youth Council to help with activities and events around fundraising for community projects. She hopes to someday work with babies as either an obstetrician or because of her admiration for children. Good job. Mackenzie Manigault. Mackenzie runs for the Brockton track team during winter and spring. She volunteers at church every Sunday. Mackenzie wants to go to college to study education and become a teacher someday. Olivia Mathalier. Olivia wants to go to college to major in nursing and minor in Chinese. She has excelled academically, enrolling in AP-level courses. She is a 3-year varsity player for the BHS girls soccer team. Clayton McLaren. Clayton describes himself as dedicated and hardworking to both his students and his athletic pursuits in cross-country and basketball. He enjoys his volunteer work with young children through track club and his church daycare. Sky Montero. Sky is a student athlete who participates in cheerleading and lacrosse. She hopes to graduate college with a degree in criminal justice and minor in psychology. Madison Moore. Madison has been playing soccer since elementary school. She coaches and is a referee for the Brockton Youth Soccer Association. She hopes to go to college and enter the medical field. Adam Neal. Adam enjoys playing baseball for the Brockton High School junior varsity baseball team and plans to try out for the varsity team this upcoming spring. He's spent the past 2 summers skating on Nantucket and is a member of the BHS varsity golf team. Adam plans to study engineering in college. Taina Rico. Taina is an active member in the marching band and advanced concert band. She's a competitive swimmer that loves the sport. Taina hopes to attend a university and go on to a profession in the medical fields. Elaine Rodriguez. Elaine is currently enrolled in the Brockton High School Nursing Assistant Program and Medical Interpretation class. During her free period, she volunteers as a teacher's assistant in her Spanish class. She hopes to further her education and follow her passion by attending a 4-year college to become a pediatric nurse. Nellie Silva.
Nellie is a dedicated student who is involved in various clubs, a part of the band, and a leader at her church. She is someone that is always smiling and a great person to be around. With the help of many programs, she hopes to discover a major and apply to university next year. Susan Takang. Susan is a hurdler for the track team and enjoys playing her clarinet. She hopes to go to college and enroll in a pre-med program. Jalen Voden. Jalen is a member of the Boxer Community Outreach Program. She enjoys drawing and painting in her free time. She hopes to become a veterinarian in the future. Michael Wilkinson. Michael is an academically talented student who enjoys volunteering his summers at his grandmother's church. He hopes to go on to further his education and become a successful business owner. Congratulations, Yellow House members. Anne will now lead the inductees and current members in the Brocktonian Chapter National Honor Society pledge.
All members, please rise and raise your right hands. Repeat each line of the pledge after I recite it. I pledge myself to exemplify the high standards of the National Honor Society. Through my actions and thoughts, I strive to make myself, my family, my community, and Brockton High School proud. As a member, I understand the capacity for which I am endowed to heed the call for helping others. In the community, even when no recognition is forthcoming. To be an example and an inspiration for my fellow students, and to uphold the ethical principles of honesty and integrity. I am and will continue to be true to the four principles for which this organization stands. Thus, I do pledge myself to the National Honor Society and its call for scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Will the members please be seated? Good job, guys. Now for our keynote speaker, Elizabeth Mukeet.
Hi. I just want to start by extending my congratulations to everyone inducted tonight. I know how hard you guys have worked to get in, so congratulations. When I was asked to speak tonight, I felt a lot of things. I was, of course, excited, but beyond that, I began to feel nervous and I was concerned, and then I topped that off with a little insecurity. After all, what could I, another high school student, add to this event? So, like any student, I started to research some stuff. I thought back to the other speakers I had heard over the years, and the more I watched and listened, the more I realized what they all had in common was something, luck would have it, that I lacked. Hindsight. They all had the luxury of being able to look back on their experiences from the comfort of where they are now. Just like many of my peers up on stage, in the audience, and even those who aren't here tonight, I don't have the life experience or credibility that comes with no longer being in the demographic that you're talking to. Those who know me know that I can range from being a pessimist to the most bright and shining optimist ever to walk the earth. So lucky for me, at that point, my brain flipped the switch and I began to see my perceived weakness as a strength that was more significant than hindsight could ever be. Not knowing the end of the story means that it hasn't come yet, so it can still be changed and revised and edited. And what we have is the opportunity to make those changes better. The National Honor Society, as I'm sure you could all recite by now, you've heard it so many times, is based on scholarship, leadership, character, and service. It's dedicated to outreach and improvement through service aimed at strengthening our communities. And that's an idea that is well-meaning and hopeful, but it's not too uncommonly found in the world. But what sets this group apart is not its mission statement or its pillars or its ideals. What sets this group apart is its members. Everyone that was on stage tonight, but is now in the audience, everyone that was on stage tonight, took steps independently to better their community and the broader world around them. For what they lack in hindsight, they make up for in experience. Experience making meals for families who needed them most. Experience reaching out to those who were in their most vulnerable state. Experience helping their peers excel in classes that they might not have even passed if it weren't for their assistance. Those who are inducted tonight are already leaders and scholars. They are already philanthropists and role models. NHS simply serves as a tool to bring these individuals together to continue what they've already started and continue it on a grander scale. I'd like to end tonight by encouraging everyone here today, inducted or a little bit past the point of being inducted, to take action in their community and to solve anything that they have a passion for. Because a lot can happen when people from different backgrounds and experiences with different passions and skills come together to achieve a common goal in bettering their world. And I think there's no better example of this than tonight, where all of us have come together to celebrate those who already do. Thank you.
Thank you, Lizzie. Please accept this as a token of our appreciation. Thank you. At this point, I'd like to turn the ceremony over to our principal, Dr. Murray, for the closing statements.
I think first thing we should do is give our inductees, our new inductees, a huge round of applause, all of them. I wish I could say I was a member of this elite group, but I was not, so I'm very jealous. I think we have some amazing groups of individuals here this evening. Naturally, we have our inductees before us, but also there's a group seated behind them and to the side of them, and I think our inductees owe them a huge round of applause, and that's for your parents and your families. So. We all know that it was your families who started you off on this path and have been a huge support for you throughout. So thank you to all of the parents for supporting these amazing students and for supporting Brockton High. It really is an honor to be here this evening. I say this a lot at Brockton High. I'm humbled and I'm honored to be before young men and women of this caliber. These are not only incredible students in the classroom, great athletes in the athletic fields, and fantastic performers on the stage and in the marching band, but in our community as well. It's our future that we talk about a lot with our students, and I think it's in great hands with these young men and women before us today. So again, the future is very bright, thanks to all of them. When we talk about their accomplishments and the things that they've done, it's all very incredible. But these are also the students who I see on a regular daily basis who say hello, not only to me, but to their teachers, are laughing and engaged with their peers who aren't inductees. These are also the students who are helping out when we do a can drive at a football game or are collecting clothes for students during the winter, or who do the simple things like say please and thank you to the lunch people or hold the door. You really have already made your mark on a number of individuals and adults here at Brockton High, but this is just the beginning. So all of us look very much forward to what you have ahead of you in your futures. We wish you the best of luck. And again, congratulations on your induction into the National Honor Society.